What's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Conversation with Pops. I'm your host, Camilio Salamander. I'm here with Uncle Jay and Pops himself. How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about yourself, Salamander?
I'm doing great. You're doing great. Came fresh off a holiday, spend time with the family. It's always good.
No doubt, eating good. Mumbles, you everybody eat good, have a good time. I see everybody made it. That's all that's important, you know.
All right.
Man, you already know. High fat, man. You know I got to get my grub on, man.
I
Right
know
now,
that's
so
right.
man,
Shit,
got it
get
in,
to
got it in.
eat good, go to sleep, wake up, eat good, take a nap. The next day, eat it for lunch, breakfast,
I don't know. I think you
dinner.
get about good 2 days out of it before it start being nasty.
Say
Leftovers
what?
is only good like the first 2 days after the holiday.
Yeah, but well, that's why you're supposed to freeze some of them up. You know what I'm saying? So then you after the holiday season, that's when they get pulled back out the freezer, man. And,
Yeah,
you know
no
what I'm
doubt. That's
saying?
what we
Get
do.
to get back into it one good time before you
Yeah,
get
that's what
into
we
the
do.
cookout season.
Yep. No, that's what we do. We freeze it and take it out around December or something. Be like heat it all back up and shit. Eat real good again. Then throw it all away. Yeah, yeah. It's wintertime now, so be careful with how much you eat because your body naturally gonna want to eat and sleep because it's winter. So if you don't want to
All right.
gain 50 over the winter.
Yeah, no doubt. So how everybody doing today then?
Oh shit, I'm good. I'm good. Shit. I want to take this opportunity. As you know, we kind of keep it a little bit free form, a little bit. We do touch on a few things here and there, but a lot of times, the conversation just kind of starts and rolls. And I want to take this time. We have Mr. Peavy that I'd like to ask to join the conversation. Uh, we have guests, to give new aspects to what's going on in the world. Like I said, this is a situation where we want to get input from all types of different angles because if you got one problem and 15 opinions, at some point you can figure it out when them 15 opinions end up agreeing on something. So, it's good that everybody has an aspect to hear what's going on in the world. I want to say, what's happening, Mr. Peavy? I think you're still on mute. You got to hit the unmute button. There you go. How's it going?
All right, all right, all right.
That's good. That's good. That's good. He's known Peavy for about he's been around for about damn. Has it been
Yeah,
almost 25 years? Hell, you remember before oh damn. You
I
know what
knew
they
him all
say?
my life. It's
Say
been over
what?
20, it's been over 20 years. I knew
yeah.
him all my life.
For me, I know it was after high school, so it was either 90, late 90s, early 91. So however long that's been, bro.
Yeah, that's about 20 plus years. Shit. It's just a little background story. As y'all know, I used to get out there and pound across the country and ride trucks and shit, and this man right here, he taught me how to back them up.
You better
you
say
know,
pause after that one. You in 2022.
I guess I shouldn't have said it like that, but
What
but
you
yeah,
know?
he gave me a few pointers and watched him do it a few times back when I first started, you know, on how to back them things up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Oh
OP
yeah,
has been around a minute. He old
man.
motherfucker
Well,
like
let me
everybody else.
ask you. Speaking of which, we can get a little background from you, Mr. P. As far as he brought up you teaching them how to back it up. Won't you explain to the people what that actually means, man? What you do for a living and how long you've been hustling it for the world.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, backing the truck up. This is it's a combination of the truck and the trailer, and just knowing how to let the trailer do all the work and not the truck. I've been doing it 30 years. I don't know. I grew up in the shit,
That
so
long, man. You've been out
yeah.
there on the road so long you can't even put a time on it no more.
No, no, no. You know, it's one of the
You know,
ones. Mhm. Tried to
I
walk
was gonna
away a
say,
few times, but the money keep bringing you back.
Yeah,
But
the money good, ain't it?
the money keep
now,
bringing you
now
back.
it is. 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? Remember when it was 24 cent a mile to,
But, but BB, if you think about it, shit, money's always been good. Back when we was 20
oh
years
yeah,
old,
yeah,
we had no business walking around with a check. We just cash for
yeah,
750, 800.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Back in 95, 96, that's like walking around with 2,300 today.
Yeah.
Let
Real
me let
talk.
me ask you, because I know the media talks about a lot of the regulations and stuff that's been put on truckers and everything. Let me just ask you, do you feel that it's easier, harder, or about the same as far as working in the trucking industry today opposed to maybe 10, 15 years ago
Mm,
on a personal level, as far as the personal toll? And I'm pretty sure you might know the financial differences over the years and stuff, but I mean just
yeah.
over in general, overall.
I don't know, man. It's like it's one of them things you got to. It's something you would have to stick with to see the benefit. If you don't stick with it, you just ain't never gone. And now, because we know more. We didn't know shit then, man. So you throw a low ball number at us, $500. Bet. But
$500 for
now,
me to go to Missouri? Okay.
no, that's your check for the week.
You said that's for the week. You said you done
Yeah,
went to Missouri, Michigan, and
575.
Florida.
650. And we doing over the road, all type of illegal stuff, but knowing what we know now and the way society is now, it's too easy. It's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
This job I have right now that I am blessed to have, because of Pops, he got me in. I've been there 2 years, man. I started off at 2250, man. I'm at 2850 now, man. That's Jane. That's Pops right there. That's my man, 100 grand. And it wasn't on some, he my friend, and I'm just gonna nah.
See, no doubt.
And I got a couple of them
You're
raises
supposed to
after
know.
he left. So
Yeah, nah, he earned it.
mhm.
It's all about on how you talk to people. You know what I'm saying? When you win, because I've been out of the truck since '09. So, I've been in a supervisory role since then. And I've been seeing, the truckers, like when me and him was out there in the beginning, there was no cell phone.
Oh no.
It was payphone.
Mm-hmm.
You really would
I bet
go.
that's the good. That's back when they really used to call y'all cowboys
Oh
Yeah,
out
man.
yeah.
there riding their road.
Oh man. I mean, because you figure you'll mess around and back then truckers' house phones were always cut off
Yep.
because of
Can't go to
collect
the house.
calls. Always. Back in those days, truckers didn't have no house phones because we fuck it up by calling too much on collect shit.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then I mean, and we still moved around, but we was coming over from back then. I could say like you are truly once you pull up out the yard, you are on your fucking own. So it
Unless
makes you
something
in a
happened.
mindset. Something happened,
Yeah,
yeah, you got to figure it out.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no calling 1-800-RESCUE. It's damn. I'm over here. I need this. I need
Mhm.
that. And you trying to make your moves because there is no cell phones. You're making your way to pay phones and
With
you
your pen
know,
and paper. Don't forget your
right.
pen and paper.
Never, never. But that's why I say I listen to these truckers
What's
on this TikTok and stuff
what,
now, and I'll be like, man, y'all some pussies. Y'all don't know what it's like to, what I'm saying, wake up at in Wilmington, Ohio, and DHL, and they load you, and the boss man expect you be sitting in Denver, Colorado, fucking 26 hours later, lay down for 4.5 hours and have your ass back over to DHL. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mm-hmm.
know what? We did it with pride.
with pride. With so
pride.
much pride, you put some bang in the rag.
Oh man, man! I remember back. If you go in the truck stop and your eyes wasn't glowing red, nigga, you wasn't working.
Someday, wrong. You should be looking like yesterday.
Should be looking right. Motherfuckers be bragging. Nigga, I ain't been asleep since 3 days ago.
Hey.
Nigga, I got you beat. I've been up since last month.
So why don't you tell us what's the longest load you've done in your career?
Damn. It's
all at one time from point A to point B.
Yeah. I done teamed with somebody and did the, New Jersey. Now you're talking about by myself. Ooh, whatever you can go up the East Coast past New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, almost to like the border of Canada. I've been up there. That's like as far as, I don't know how far that is, but and then across, Texas, man. It took me 2 days to get across one state, bro.
Texas,
2 days.
I hear that. Yeah,
I don't care how fast your truck is. Texas is 2 days.
You said it's 2 days, no matter what, right?
Hey, it's a shift and a half. I don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I've tried to pick Texas up and lay it the fuck down, nigga. Man, when I worked for Freedom Enterprises, they gave me this 84-inch Freightliner Classic with a 550 cat in it, a 13-speed, and the boss man didn't care if we ran them. And man, I said, man,
they knew what they had, James. They knew we were some young cats that was gonna get out there and get it. All you got to do is just leave them alone.
Leave them alone. The boss man used to let us run back then. What, this governor shit? I remember coming down from Detroit with everybody in a big old, convoy, Manster and all them up, and it'd be like, by the time we started, it'd be 4-5 of us. By the time we hit Toledo, we done picked up 3-4 more. By the time we get to Lima, there was sometimes we had 15-20 trucks and rolling, not just all in a line together. 75, 80 and above coming down I-75, rolling.
Hey, I got so many speeding tickets with Jet. Remember when they would cut your truck back?
Yes.
Man, they cut my truck back to 55, bro. I was mad, but I couldn't be mad because, but I was mad, dude.
you know one place you should have came to work?
Where?
When I'm Jamestown.
No,
man,
James, I take my hat off to you, bro. Boy, you were putting knob. Hey, y'all, look at this. This dude picked me up at 6 o'clock in the evening, right? All I know is 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock the next day, dude, we were sitting in Miami. The truck never left the left lane. He didn't stop to go to sleep. He didn't take no power nap.
Shit. We had to get
you would have thought we had 10 keys of dope in the trunk, man. James is a rider, man. I salute you, bro. You was a rider, man. I couldn't do what you do. 3,500, 4,500. Oh,
shit, fuck that. You know me.
I had a cap, James. I had a cap.
You know me. If there's $5 on the table, I want all $5.
That's always been due too. That's all.
$5 of it.
Be like, James, if you don't leave that $5 to come
on. You got me fucked up. I can use that someday. What you talking about? Why? If I leave it there, somebody else gonna get it. Fuck that.
And I know this is probably a redundant question. You probably hear this one quite often, man. But we're gonna ask it anyway, man.
I like your boss chair, Mom. That's kind of cute.
Say what?
Your boss chair.
My boss chair.
But he was sitting behind a desk.
I know. That's his boss chair. I just kind of noticed it.
Okay, I couldn't see the bar. Okay. I just thought he was, I wasn't paying attention till you said something.
Well, I mean, you know, he looked like he looked like he over there moving and producing. Look like he
Oh,
he got
yeah.
the
I
moves
seen it. I
going
don't
on
when
and
he
everything. You know what I'm saying?
when he said Junior and he got to moving his fingers.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, go
right.
get that. Yeah. Bring that back.
Right. Go ahead.
Anyway, y'all, what we was saying.
And you want to know the bad thing about it though, Peavy? The
Yeah.
executive producers in the top left screen, the engineers in the top right, but he up here always pixelating.
Well, you know, he got a lot going on, man. He got a lot going on.
No doubt. Go ahead, bro. I'm just fucking with you.
So what?
Oh man, we all. I just want to. So, how would you say the effect of diesel prices are doing you and truckers that you know?
Shit, it ain't.
My company keep buying it.
So your company keep buying it?
Man,
Moving, right?
it don't matter what the price is.
Can I say something about these diesel prices real quick?
Yes.
It go back and
know
forth.
why the hell they.
It go back and forth. This isn't the first time. It's not the last time. It's a natural cycle. Throughout the business cycle, you have times where it's at the truck's advantage, where more trucks are needed and there's more freight and there's not enough trucks. So, of course, the shippers, which is the end that I'm on now for the first time. I love it. But on the shippers, like, fuck. I gotta pay $800 for this shit I normally been moving for $400 because there's not enough trucks. So you got to pay more money to attract the truck out of the pool. Okay, now it has shifted because of the damn inflation, rates up, suppliers slowing down. Excuse me. Now there's beginning to be more trucks than there is freight. So now I ain't gotta pay shit. Nigga, I could pay $250 to get this shit moved now because there's 15 of y'all sitting there and one of y'all gonna want to move. Come on, let's play. Don't get mad because the game does switch. But my point that I'm getting to is that this has happened over the years. Fuel prices is what they is. The problem is that when y'all out there getting them 18s, them 37s, them 42s, y'all spending it all instead of managing your motherfucking money right. So that when y'all have these type of situations, you can still go through it because you know what? Over a year's time, it averages out to the same fucking money. You just get a lot of it during peak seasons and you don't make shit during off seasons. It's been like that since the beginning of time. So all these cats out here crying because, yeah, you was getting these big money loads. You get in this shit. That's the biggest checks y'all ever seen. But this is a business that you got into. And in the business, it has a business cycle. So when it's not good, you got to say, well, I've already made X amount of dollars, but y'all out here buying Lamborghinis and buying bitches $13,000 purses. And, you know, you go get some good pussy for $250. You don't give a fuck, nigga. But y'all out here doing all this stupid shit. And then y'all got everything in your life on payments. And then when the shit blow up because now the truck done flipped because the bitch done broke a couple of times, you had to spend $5,000 to fix it, $6,000 to fix it. On top of that, your fuel bill's going up and freight rates are going down. Now you crying. No, nigga, quit crying. You spent it all. But, you know, I ain't gonna tirade too much, but, you know, plain and simple, man. You spent it all. It's a job. After you run your truck, you get your bills paid. The only difference is you get to drive what the hell you want to drive because you bought it. You can have a little bit better money because it's a little bit better than a company person, but not really. And that's it. All you're doing is buying yourself a truck that you want to drive and be able to go home when you choose to. Well, yeah, company drivers go home now when they want to too, don't they?
I mean, when I was out there, James, and I was leasing a truck, I had that same company driver mentality. This is my truck, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go home when I want to. Now that part is true.
But your pocket
you ain't gonna make no money.
That's right. But you know what?
You ain't gonna make no money.
You know that's the thing. That's the thing about working for yourself, man, is that you got to get up. Ain't no clock to punch. You got to punch your own clock, man. You got to get your ass up and go to work.
It ain't,
you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be there at 8:00 in the morning. You got to be there now. Let's get up and go.
I so disagree because whether you punching the clock, working for yourself or whatever, if you ain't getting up every day to obtain excellence amongst yourself, you're
Yeah.
failing.
Yeah.
So therefore, I say that to say the money's the money. If you making good money, you spend it all. You spend it all. If you don't get up and go get it, you don't get up and go get it.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. My point was, I'll make a little different point, man. When you got to get out, when you got to work for yourself, man, it's a little different. It's a little harder. You know what I'm saying, to stay
A lot more
motivated.
sacrifice.
It ain't like you're working a routine every day. Every day you're just getting up and going to work every day. That's a routine. Your body's set for that. I could drink until 6 in the morning and be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning once I'm in at that routine. You know what I mean? But when the only way you're gonna get paid is if you get your ass up and get moving, shit. I mean that part's the same concept, but it's just a little harder mentally sometimes.
Yeah, because
that routine, that clock
when you're
there,
working, ain't the routine mumbles. When you're working on your own, you have no supervision. So therefore, if you ain't got nobody that you're accountable to for doing something, it's totally up to you. And that's where people fall off at. Some people need a motherfucker to say, get your ass to work, and some people don't.
You know what my motivation was, James? I mean, Pops. My motivation was the last dumb time I did something. I'm gonna go get me a brand new truck. I'm $250,000 in the hole and ain't pulled the first load.
Right, just because you got this new truck.
Yeah, I'm $250 in the hole and ain't made not one dime. So can I still go home when I want to?
Hell no. You got to make.
They said, Mr. Peavy, they said you're not seeing any money because you're not staying out long enough. You need to stay out at least 4 to 6 weeks. I said, oh, this ain't for me. I thought I was about that life until I wanted to be a trucker until I had to be a trucker.
Trucker life hard, ain't it?
Dog.
Speaking of wanting to be a trucker, man, I wanted to bring up something because you come from a family that I've always admired, man. A family of Black entrepreneurs, man. I just want to know, man, was it like a given for you, man, because of how successful your family was that you were going to go into trucking? Was that like a given, or is that something that you just came to terms with at one point and said, you know what, I'm going into the business?
I always wanted to be like my dad. Always, because I used to ride with him as a kid. So, that was, I guess, I wanted to emulate him. So I just, I really watched him long enough to I'm like 15 years old and look over a dude and say, man, I can do that. And he say, show me. And then that's where I fucked up at. But I've always been that type of, when they call somebody, when they say who want to go first and how don't nobody put their hand up, I'm going to put my hand up because I don't know. It just seemed like the thing to do. And then the money, and then you could see how you could finesse it. And it didn't take hard. Oh, no, man, it didn't. Now all I got to do is stay awake. And I'm riding with this brother. Oh, man. 99, James, double cheeseburgers, large fries.
Double cheeseburger, large fries. What was it, like $3.50? Ooh, man, that shit was the bomb.
Man,
all right. Well,
I do. But you know what though? I didn't even realize until later on in life what I got a chance to experience, because I got an opportunity to experience Black entrepreneurship as a very young adult. And the type of, and I was lucky I experienced a solid, stable Black entrepreneur situation at a young age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me personally, that had a lot of effects on me, thinking back on it and like, okay, because, your family, they ran it was a business. I mean, man, you think that motherfucker was ran by white folks on some 100 shit, on like just how it operated, your insurance, your
Nah,
taxes,
man,
your
fuck that.
paycheck.
You would think that shit was ran by some thoroughbred Negroes.
Well, yeah, but it operated like the white folks operate. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
man, it operated like some Negroes who knew what they were doing, man. Come on, man, cut it out.
Somebody had a
I
plan.
ain't giving shit to nobody but the Negroes who did it. You know what I mean?
Hey, you
Period.
right.
They
I
wasn't
give
trying
it
to
to you.
emulate
You right.
nobody. They were out there hardworking Negroes, man, and they showed other ones around them how to be hardworking Negroes, man. It ain't about running their business like no white folk. Nah, man, they ran their business like some hardworking Negroes.
They did. They
Man,
ran.
my people's them always had a number they was trying to get to. It wasn't never about like leaving it to nobody. They was like, man, when we reach a certain number,
We're done.
we're done. Y'all can keep doing what y'all doing, but I'm gonna step away because I got my ducks in a row.
No, they are, and
And I never looked at it like that. Like, I'm hearing all these great things, but I guess because I growed up in it, so I hated it. You know what I mean? Y'all be like, man, why come you ain't gonna take over? Man? Like, dude, I hate this. And then when my Uncle Troy told me buying a truck would be the worst thing I ever do, he said, you buy a truck, that's gonna be the biggest mistake you ever make in your life.
you know what? I say the exact same
Man,
thing.
and like I know Mr. Troy, man, is a very, very wise man. So I would love for you to share that with us, man. What was some reasoning behind that, man? Did he give any type of reasoning why it would be a bad idea?
If you can kind of like picture growing up with your mom or somebody that was just always, or like without them, you probably could, because your mom was in the prison, worked for the prisons, and she was always working. It's like, man, my dad was always gone, man. He was really nothing but the provider and the disciplinary. Was never no intimate, my dad would just cut different, man. He showed you everything through
when
work.
Your uncle gave when your uncle gave you that advice, was that more along the lines of what he was referring to?
Because it's gonna
even more the family life, or
the family life. You're not gonna be there. You can't be there. How about that? Yeah, you can't.
That's a general rule of trucking, though, right?
Yeah.
A real truck
for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if you work a local job. You still don't give somebody 12 hours of your life every day.
Pops is a good example because you got a young daughter now. Now, just imagine you on the road like you was. Child would grow up to be, I don't know, but it wouldn't be the same as you being there every day.
I got off lucky because by the time we came around, a lot of my truck and I was able to keep it to home on the weekends.
Yeah.
But then you know how that is, you weekend warrior, with everything. But you're right. Even the 5 days, and then there was times I'd be gone for a month, 2 months, with the cans. Just the trucking life is hard. It is hard, it is hard. It's like you're always, when you come home, it's almost like the home is used to being ran without you there on a daily basis.
Yep.
And you come into the home situation, try not to disturb that, where you fit in and how you fit in, because then you're gone again and you're home in that daily basis. Fortunately, you can say what you want about cell phones, but when it comes to truckers, cell phones, motherfucking connectivity to the world.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and of course, with every good thing, there's downsides, but cell phones really allowed you to be a part of your kid's life in many ways. It allows you to talk to them. I don't know. If cell phones made trucking 30% easier, it really did.
30% said nothing's going to make it all the way better when it comes to not spending time with the family.
Nothing at all. But at least it put it to where you felt like you wasn't just detached from the house. Because before cell phones, there'd be times when you can't get to a phone to call home, even when the phone cards came about. So you get a phone. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You might go to the truck stop and they had big phone rooms back then with 20, 30 phones in them. You know what I'm saying? But you go there on certain times and you got everybody in the truck stop trying to call home. So now you got a choice. You can go take this shower, take your ass to bed, and pound out this 600 miles, or you can wait for a phone call. Man, this next load takes me home. I'm going to get this nap in so I can go motherfucking pound this 600 miles out. Fuck that phone right now. And before you know it, 2-3 days done went by and you haven't talked to the house at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, trucking, even with connectivity to the world now, and it's a lifestyle, and a lot of if you don't embrace the lifestyle, you're not going to make it.
Yep. Yep.
You got no business being an over the road truck driver. Over the road. Now, local's different because local's like a job. You know what I'm saying? But over the road, you got no business messing with it if you're not going to embrace the lifestyle.
Yep. That's something you got to want to do.
Yes.
You got to want to do that.
Yes. And if you embrace the lifestyle, it's beautiful. But everything is beautiful. Don't always hit on everything right. You know what I mean?
Besides the extended time spent away, because that's definitely a given. I know it don't make it no easier, but what would you say would be the next biggest thing as far as what might be the hardest thing for somebody that's looking to get into trucking, and what would be the next most difficult thing that you've had to deal with besides the lost time as far as being on the road?
That's it.
You said that's it?
That's it.
The hardest thing.
The job itself is great. I mean,
is it how about if you're is it difficult to keep up let's say that you're into working out and good and eating good and stuff like that. Is it hard to keep a balanced diet while on the road?
No. Too easy. We got refrigerators, we got inverters, refrigerators, crock pots.
It's like anything else. You have to choose to do it.
Yeah.
You can go for the easy, hit up the fast food places and the TAs and the Petros and their food they got by the cash register, or you can go ahead and put some food in your damn truck and eat off of it. I mean,
dude, hey, I was eating steak. I was eating eggs and bacon. Frying up hamburgers with the bacon, man, lettuce. Just
I seen the on the before on the internet long time ago and stuff, and then of course on the road. Now that I know what they are, I see them, and I'd be like, man, have either one of you, starting with you, P, have either one of you ever drove in what they call them apartment on wheels, one of those big old trucks with the living rooms and everything in them?
No.
Said never drove one?
No.
All right. You ever drive one, Pops?
No, I worked at when I had. You remember that green Peterbilt?
Mm-hmm.
That green Peterbilt that me and Daddy had. That green one. That's when we had that. Before we went to Kansas with it. Me and at that time, that's when Ray was getting out of truck driving school. I taught him how to drive. We went up and worked for a company out of Grand Rapids, Michigan called DBC. And they operated them kind of trucks. They was pieces of shit. But,
what?
Man, I mean, maybe it's because it was a company ride, but, I mean, they was big. They had some room, you know what I'm saying? But I'll take my 64-inch Peterbilt bunk any day over that piece of shit they had. And by the way, I want to say that is the baddest truck that I've ever driven in my life. Ever. And since I got somebody here that could co-sign with me, I've driven some units over. I didn't drive trucks. I drove units over the years. I drove some units over the years. You know what I'm saying? But that green motherfucker, man, let me tell you something. That green motherfucker right there, It wasn't nothing I couldn't do with it. I mean, look, I took that truck up over God and back.
Well, okay. Again, we really appreciate you taking time to share with us a little bit about the trucking industry, man.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, hopefully we got anybody out there who's thinking about that as a career. Hopefully you help them. They took in a few words of
Can I,
advice from you, and
Mumbles? You
they
mind
got
if I say
something.
Mumbles? You mind if I say something on that as far as a career goes, real quick?
Yeah, but keep it short because we're getting
I'll
ready to
keep
move
it
on
short.
to the next topic.
I just want to suggest to anyone that is looking for a way to make some great money right now. I suggest that you take advantage of it. This is a great time because it's going through a transition. You don't have to go over the road anymore to hit them 80s and 90s. You know, you can come right out of school these days and go into local type jobs and be home every night and get that good money. So I suggest to anyone to take advantage of it right now, uh, because in another 10 years, it's going to be a whole different look on it. But I recommend it to anybody. You know, it'll get big time money in your pocket and get some shit straightened out for you. You know,
Apply for that grant. Apply for that
yep,
grant.
yep, yep. It's well worth it. Um, and you know, it'll teach you some things to where it'll make you more motivated to do things. Because when you have to do something on your own from start to finish, that makes you a better money producer than anybody else out there. And you will build value in yourself because you can do something everybody else can't do, and that's get the job done.